Hello, my name is Mark Lockneat, aka Bede, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of how I fiddled with my Hobbit Pinball machine in order to live stream directly to the internet and make the machine internet accessible. What you're looking at is basically a very simple frame setup in HTML. I basically reconfigured the pinball game software. I did not make any hardware modifications other than plugging in a USB webcam and also plugging in an Ethernet port. The rest of it is software based, although I did work on a copy of the hard drive so that I was not messing up my original copy. And basically what you see here is basically two video frames, the back glass, which is actually rendered in 1080p, but you'll see it squished down here where it's more scaled down to fit the size of the window that I'm using. And then on the right hand side, you'll see the webcam, which I have attached over my playfield surface. The interesting thing about this is that I'm using FFmpeg to directly capture the video from the X11 display. The Hobbit Pinball game is in fact based on a Unix operating system, so I was able to directly capture what was going to the X11 display and render it. If you were to go to the stream for that particular frame, you would actually see the full 1080p display on it. And I'll give you an example of what the CPU usage is. It looks like it runs about 30% to run that process. And I'm only doing everything at 15 frames per second just to keep the CPU utilization low. Overall CPU utilization only shows up at about maybe 60% when running the game. So there's some room more, although the CPU isn't terribly strong on this. So if we were really going to do it right, which would be to combine all the video streams together into a single Twitch stream or something like that before encoding it, it would take possibly a CPU upgrade, something a little bit better than the simple what you see here. So I also added a little bit of CGI binary so that people on the internet could submit pictures that would be viewed on the display, and so that you could also type a message that would be displayed, and I'll demonstrate that as well. So there's a lot of problems with this. This was just an original proof of concept. It is not done well. In fact, it's done insecurely and very cheesily. I did demo this on August 2nd before I headed out to the DEF CON conference to hone my skills. And had some people in from Australia and around the world kind of pinging things and throwing things on there on the screen. If you want to, you can watch the whole long video of that, which is, if I'm not mistaken, is the first time anyone's ever live streamed from a pinball game using the actual pinball game operating system. So I'm going to go ahead and just start a game real quick, and then I'm going to demonstrate showing you a message, and then demonstrate showing you a picture. So you may notice that things are a little bit out of sync. Again, this comes down to the fact that I'm doing two separate live streams instead of combining them, so it's not surprising. We'll see how we can do here, and maybe nope, no such luck on the skill shot. I'm just going to do one ball here real quickly. I'm not necessarily the best pinball player. On a three ball game, my high score is around 1,900,000, so not great. All right, so for all intents and purposes, this is what I'm gonna kind of stop here. So the first thing I'm gonna demonstrate here for you is showing you a picture of what it looks like to display a picture on the screen. And in this case, I'm going to slide over the full 1080p view so you can see it without squinting. And there's a little bit of a delay because we're live streaming, so things don't happen immediately. But here we see the Signum University logo. And Signum University, in case you don't know, is an online university where you can take classes on things like science fiction, fantasy, ancient literature, and even, Tolkien and things like that. The next thing I'm going to show you is sending a message to the screen. So here again, I can make a simple submit, drag over something that's a little bit easier to read, and we'll see the message displayed here shortly. I tried to find a nice video font that looks a lot like you would see on a Lord of the Rings type promotional thing, so that worked pretty well. Overall, the system really could use a lot more beef. It really needs more CPU power. The display on the right is just a 640 by 480 webcam, and the audio is coming through the webcam, delayed by about a second or two. That annoyed me, but I just let it go. Whereas the back glass is the 1080p raw. As you saw, it's a lot better res if you go there. And here we can see how the CPU utilization looks while we're actually running the game. So the game is hovering around 33%, FFmpeg is running around 34%, and we've got a smaller FFmpeg for the webcam, which is taking a measly 8%. And so overall, I think we could do more with this. We only got a Celeron in this box, but if we put in an i5 or an i7 type chip, add a couple $100 to the cost, we could very easily be doing what we really need. And here you can just see the output from the display of the 2 scripts that are doing the live streaming to Twitch. I needed about 2 megs upload speed just for this quality. So I found that my DSL connection, which only had about a 1.3 to 1.7 upload speed, just could not cut it. I had to get a cable modem in order to even do this proof of concept. So I'm using just about 2 megs of upload speed out of maybe my 10 or so using my cable modem. If we were really going to do it right and have everything pretty and HD, we'd probably need somewhere around a 6 to 8 meg upload stream. So there it is. That's about all I have to say about that. I'm looking forward to see what Jersey Jack Pinball will do next, whether or not they'll take some of these ideas and look at maybe incorporating some internet features. There's just about nothing we couldn't do, from having consolidated scoreboards to allowing people that have distribution routes to remotely look at their games and see what might be going on with them, if they're turned off or if they have problems with stuck balls or something. And similarly, we could do a lot of fun stuff with, a consolidated scoreboard where with geographic overlays, so we could see what towns have the best pinball scenes and where the highest scores are coming from, or get tweets when somebody breaks the new high record, or possibly follow an individual player that you're really interested in and find out when they break their own record, that kind of thing. There's a lot that can be done. And I'm looking forward to the future. This is all made possible by open source software and Jersey Jack, who had the wisdom to use it and made what is, in my opinion, one of the best pinball games ever made. Thank you.